Notice that I get a message asking to press any key to boot from the CD or DVD. This normally occurs when an existing operating system is present. If you do not press a key, the computer will boot from the existing operating system. This is done so that if the install is finished and the DVD is left in the drive, the system will still boot into Windows rather than attempt to install Windows again. In this case, the EFI setting has caused the bootloader to wrongly detect an operating system on the drive. There is no operating system on this drive, but in order to start the install, I will press a key. The Loading Files screen is loading Windows PE from the DVD into RAM. Once in RAM, the virtual machine will boot into Windows PE. Once Windows PE has booted, Windows PE will automatically run the setup. The first screen of the setup will ask which language, time, currency, and keyboard that you want to use. In this case, I will accept the defaults and move on. On the next screen, you need to select Install Now to start the install. You also have the option Repair the Computer. If the system has problems booting, the Repair Your Computer option will give you access to some tools that may be able to fix the problem. On this screen, a product key needs to be entered that will be used with Windows. Depending on which DVD you use, the DVD may contain multiple editions of Windows, and the product key will determine which one of these editions will be installed. In this case, I will enter in a product key for Windows Server 2012 R2 Standard. The next screen will show you which editions of Windows Server on that DVD will work with that product key. If the product key is valid, but that edition of Windows Server does not exist on that DVD, Setup will give you a prompt to indicate that. If this occurs, you need to use a DVD that contains the edition that matches your product key. The first option is to install Windows Server with the Server Core interface. This is the default option for Windows Server installation. In this case, I will select the second option to install Windows Server with the full GUI and move on. On the next screen, I need to tick the option I accept the license terms. The license is displayed on this screen if you want to read what you can and cannot do with Windows Server 2012 R2. The next screen determines whether an in-place upgrade or clean install is going to be performed. The top option, Upgrade, is available. However, if this was selected, Setup would give you an error. In order to upgrade an existing operating system using the Upgrade option, the operating system that you want to upgrade from needs to be booted up. Once booted, Setup needs to be run from the DVD. Since no operating system exists on this computer as yet, I will select the second option, Custom, to perform a clean install of Windows Server 2012 R2. On the next screen, there are options to partition and format the drive. If the drive has not been partitioned, which in this case it has not, Setup will automatically partition the drive as required. If your drive does not appear, you may need to select the option at the bottom right called Load Driver. In this case, I do not need to load any additional drivers, and I am happy for Setup to partition the drive as required, so I will press Next and move on. Setup will now copy the required files and set up the hard disk. Depending on the speed of your computer, this should take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes to complete. I will pause the video and return once it has completed. Once Setup has finished copying files, the system will reboot and Windows will finish the install. This includes performing steps like detecting hardware on the system, as well as running a number of performance tests. The system may reboot a number of times, and the whole process takes a few minutes. I have, however, sped up the process so that we do not need to wait. Once booted, I will need to enter in an administrator password. Once this is done, Windows will finalize the operating system and I will be able to log in. First login will take a bit longer than normal as Windows needs to create a profile for that user. Once logged in, Server Manager will be loaded up automatically. Also, since a new network card was installed, I will receive a message asking if this network card will automatically be used to find other devices on the network. In this case, this server will be on an internal network behind a firewall, so I will press Yes for this particular network adapter.